just a bloke in a bar.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to Back in My Day, and we've got the full crew back. We're at full strength again, so hopefully we make a run towards the finals. Been injured the last few weeks, so hopefully now the boys are all back, we can get back to top form. But I'll just get straight into it, boys. The Door, you were here last week, so I'm sure you've been great, mate. But Rennie,
of course.
Jackson, how you been, boys?
Fellas? Stand down protocol, had a HIA. I was out for a couple of weeks, but I'm back, mate. It's good to be back with the crew.
Yeah, it's swell.
Good to have you back.
It's swell.
Yeah, it's good to see you.
Yeah,
It's good to see you.
that's good.
I haven't seen. I've done a couple the last month or so with you and Dor, but I haven't seen Rennie in ages.
Yeah.
Like pre-Origin period, I think almost. So it's
Brushed us.
good
He's
to see
brushed
you
us.
again. Yeah,
No, I haven't brushed this. No, not at all. Not at all.
Mate,
High
just,
demand.
You know, just
I'm in high demand. You know, I've got a ratchet clause here, right?
right.
If you play a certain amount of games, you get a bonus.
It's good to take
that's
some
why I'm
pressure
back.
off the old Gary Jack as well.
Yeah, well,
Minor calf tear as well, these old legs.
that's what I was going to get to too, Shandor. Like, you know, Bloke, like Kempy's doing multiple podcasts a week, but what you've been able to bring on the Thursday without the rest of us has been, it's a credit to you.
No, I appreciate it.
It's also credit to
Full
me too.
credit.
Like,
Yeah.
a little bit credit to me as well.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
Like kind of a bit. Mate, but how you been, mate? What you got going on?
Good, yeah. I've actually, I've been trying to come up with some new segments for our potty lately. I thought,
Okay.
I thought I'd trial one with you today.
Okay, I like
just
it.
something different. We've all played imposter before, right?
Yes,
You know,
yes.
imposter, where
Yeah.
you know someone's the imposter, someone's the odd one out, right?
Yep.
Okay.
And I thought, because we haven't been with each other for so long as a group, I thought I wrote everyone a letter, very brief letter,
Okay.
with some, you know, each of you, and one of you has got a blank page. So we've got to figure out
Which one has a
So
blank page?
I'll hand them out now. I'd love to go from Rennie to you, Denon, and then at the end, I think it might be obvious when it happens, but we'll try and figure it out as we go.
So how does this work though? Do I have to pretend I have a written page? If I
yeah. So whoever it is has to sort of go off you have to just go off the cuff. You just got to figure it out as you go.
Okay, so I'm almost reading a letter as if you've sent it to me, and I've got to convince other people that I don't have the blank page.
Yeah. So
okay.
if you're lucky enough to have someone go before you, you're going to try and emulate the style of that
Okay.
letter.
Okay.
This is tough.
Okay.
You put me under
Okay.
some teriyaki meshi.
Wowee.
So we can't open
Thank
it.
you.
Here we go. Open now.
I'd like you all to have a look now. Please keep it no cheating. Shandor and Ren looking at each other's. Apologies for my handwriting. I'm a typer these days, so I'd love if Ren, you could go first, and we'll just go from person to person. Then at the end we can sort of decide who it is the in fact imposter.
So I just have to read what you've...
Exactly what I've
Okay.
said.
Dear Mr. Ren Markable. Oh, I like that. You are
Remarkable.
You are a visionary. You are a national treasure. You are a gentleman scholar. Your pal, Jack. Thank you, Jack.
That's really creative. If you're the imposter, wow, that's creative.
That is outstanding. I love that. Thank you.
Shandor?
Okay. To my dearest Door bird,
That's good. That's good from you.
you are unwavering. You are beautiful. You are radiant. You are an architect of greatness. Your bestest friend, Jack.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, very smooth there, Shandor. You're very good off the cuff. I like it.
Okay, here you go. Dear Beak, your nose isn't that big. It's just aerodynamic. Thank you for all the things you've done for me. I owe my entire career to you, Jack Johns.
Wow.
Wow.
Wow. Who do you reckon, fellas? Who are we thinking is the imposter?
Kempy.
An easy one.
You didn't even try and stick to the template, the structure.
Mate, what's the structure?
You are.
Oh, fuck, I didn't know
You are.
Was that was that
You know what
supposed
the
to...
giveaway was?
Were you listening to
No,
us?
but I didn't know that's a fucking tempo to it.
It's hard, eh? Because you're on the cuff. Like, you didn't
I
get any
tried to
notice.
throw it.
Your eyes weren't even moving. They were just straight. You
Well, it's
are-
hard because I can see the writing on those things through the lighting.
Oh, okay.
You know
That's why I
what-
was like trying to do that.
You know what got me? Like, I know that you obviously set up as the last one because you got a few examples, but it was the fact that you grabbed the letter and you put it up almost like horizontal to your eyes. Like it was like.
So is that a
Unnatural
Is that a
behaviour.
part of imposter where there's a tempo?
So your goal is, if you don't have the letter,
Yeah.
then your goal is to try and convince us and make us think,
Oh,
fuck,
yeah, I know
Kempy's
that.
got the letter.
But you said there's you are.
So what I would have done if I was you, I would have tried to emulate the template which we had. Both Rennie and I said this.
Fuck, that's tough. I can't see that.
yeah,
I
well,
can't
You got
see
to
that.
listen to it.
Yeah.
I
Jack.
actually
This is
thought you did all right.
outstanding.
Thanks, mate.
I thought you did it right.
appreciate it.
It was sort of teed up that you sort of would start and then be like, what the fuck am I doing?
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, I was going to start.
Yeah.
But then you
No,
couldn't
I-
give that away if you had said, no, Denny, you start. Then it looks
And
obvious.
I didn't want to give you any notice too because it's I don't want to distract you
That would
from
have been
the
interesting
great
if
work.
Denon started, because then we realistically, if we really wanted to win the game, we would have had to fucking change this.
Yeah, you could have chucked in something of your own. Did I write beautiful, by the way?
No, I had that out there.
Oh, I thought you did. I thought you did.
Only for the purpose of the game.
I remember going like, did I write beautiful? Like, was my handwriting like that bad or what?
Oh, that's good stuff. I like
was
that.
awesome.
I like that.
Well
That's
done.
good stuff. Well done.
I'm gonna
there.
frame it.
He's
JJ.
back. He's back in a big way.
I'm going to frame it and write beautiful on it.
You're an architect.
Yeah, he scored the first try.
Red
He
mark.
scored the
First
first
try
try. That's a
scorer.
great return. All right, boys. Indigenous round. I want to ask you. I'll go to you first, Dor. Who is your favourite Indigenous player of all time?
It is a very hard one. I will say, of all the choices, the one that just stands out, and it's probably an answer that everyone would have, would just be Greg Inglis. I think that he's just such a freak. When I think of some of the big moments from an Indigenous player, whether it's him in Origin, him in Storm Level, or even for Australia, like he's just such a freak. But
Mate, mine is GI, Preston Campbell, Willie Tonga, guys like that. But for mine, my favourite player growing up was the Pearl, Steve Reynolds.
Oh, the Pearl.
oh yeah,
Good
I had
fella,
the-
the Pearl.
I had the
Yeah.
mullet. I can show you I had the mullet. I had the headgear. Was it the 92 grand final, 93, where and he's got another great Indigenous player chasing him
Yep.
against the Dragons, Ricky Walford.
He's hits the overs line or whatever.
Hits the overs
Yeah.
line, runs the length. Ricky
Bro, I know,
Walford's
I know
chasing him.
things were different back in the day, but anyone who can make that headgear iconic is clearly
I-
a freak.
Mate.
Like you have to be
I wore it.
that good. Oh, so did I. So did
wore it.
everyone.
Mate, the Pearl for
The
me.
Beaver.
when I-
The Madison, yeah.
The first time I met the Pearl, I was just in awe. I was like, this is Steve Renoff. Like,
Yep.
mate, he was for me like my favourite, like original favourite Indigenous player.
I tell you what, you know a guy has impact where at the Broncos there was a stat play, the outball was essentially created. I won't say it was created by Steve Renoff because I'm sure you could find some footage of other people running outball, but at least at the Broncos,
Yeah.
it was considered his play that we would use, and it was called the outball, and it was all it was
Did he
called-
have much to do with the Broncos like back then?
he would come in sometimes. I funnily enough, one of the big reasons I actually decided to play rugby league instead of AFL and soccer was because I had one memory with my grandfather, my da, and it was sitting at his knee watching Steve Renoff, and he was a big Broncos fan, but he had passed away. But it just I don't know. I just had that. That's the only memory I've got with him sitting at his knee, and I was watching Steve Renoff. And I didn't watch any rugby league growing up. That was the only rugby league that I'd really watched. I watched soccer, obviously, but that was a big reason because my grandfather, Da, who I admired religiously, was a huge Renoff fan. He was his favourite player.
There you go.
So that was a big
Pearl.
reason.
Good man, the Pearl.
Give us a smoky, Jack.
I got like you typically get GI, like even Cody. I loved training alongside and playing with Cody. The rare couple of times I got, but for me it's Matty Bowen. I loved growing up. I loved Matty Bowen. It's such a shame he didn't get to play in that grand final 2015. Like, and he wasn't because for those years leading to that and that squad they had there, like, you know, if it wasn't for his knees, like, mate, he was a freak. Like. It was every game, the combination of him and JT through those late 2000s, like it was some of the games they played and some of the combinations they had, like was freakish. And some of the tries, like watching him play, it was very similar to like Billy Slater. I got the same sense where it was like the way they played looked fun, like really fun, like the way they played. They went out there, like tested their hand and had like just did things that no one else could do.
I got to so when I was coming through the grades, I was relatively confident that okay, I'll play first grade. Like I just backed myself that eventually I'm going to be good enough. I'll make my debut. The first time ever where I took pause and was like, oh shit, like that's going to be hard to get to that level. We went up and I was playing for Broncos reserve grade at the time at Dairy Farmers Stadium. And obviously after we played, the Cowboys played. And I remember seeing Matty Bowen just glide across the field.
Glide.
And the first time I saw that was like, oh shit, like that's going to be tough to get to that level of speed. Because obviously speed was the thing that I brought. But it was Matty Bowen. Where I'd never before had any doubt of like, can I get to that level?
Yeah.
Until I saw Matty Bowen play and was like, holy shit, like that is a
You know who
different
reminds
level.
me of him a lot now, actually, is Sua Falogo down in Melbourne.
Yeah.
Like
Gun.
he reminds, the way he runs, like he reminds me of
But it's funny that, isn't it? Like you look at America and African Americans, I feel like I've always just looked at them as just so athletic, so powerful, so dense and muscular. But Indigenous athletes, it's not that they are so focused on that, but their ability to run fast and glide across the field. I don't know how you explain it, but it's specific and unique
Jaden
to
Campbell's
them,
got
and it's
that.
unbelievable.
He just glides, eh?
Watch
Well,
Josh
if you-
Adokar. It's
you-
like
when you
he's-
think
what the
when you
fuck
think
is
about it,
going on?
when you think about the fact that they survived in the harshest environment on planet Earth for longer than 65,000 years, there has to be some kind of connection to the hardiness of their genetics and that.
Yeah.
Because they are the fact that they're 3% of the population but represent, I'll say, 20% of the NRL is incredible.
It's so cool.
In regards to I was actually going to say Matty Bowen. In regards to mine, I'll say Jarrell Yayi. I just think what a career could
Same
have
thing
been.
again, the way he got around the field.
He
was
was
Big. He
unbelievable.
was 95 to 100 kilos. He was 6'3", 6'4", moved like the absolute wind. Great footwork as well. Could chip and chase. His career obviously getting cut short, but I think that he would have gone down as one of the great ringers. I really do.
agree.
Yep.
I really
he
do.
had a quick rise to straight to his Australian jersey too.
Yeah,
didn't he? Like
yeah.
He was,
I was in there when he got. I was in the locker room when he got told he was playing Origin, I think, and even you could tell. Like I think Hodjo already knew, but you could tell like the squad not surprised that Jarrell could do it, but just how quickly it all came. But
Even
he-
Hodjo, G, like
Hodjo.
prime Hodjo's
that right
just-
foot step.
Bro.
You
And
knew
the
it was coming.
bend,
You knew it was coming, and he did it every time.
He took the piss. They just don't. There's those players that we're talking about. I do feel like they just don't really exist anymore.
Yeah, you know what?
Partly, I don't know.
Even with Indigenous players, you know when there's like a loose ball on the ground and they can just attack the ball at speed, and just most other players would stop and flinch and try and pick it up with two hands, and they can just scoop it up with one hand. So that level of skill with our Indigenous players like
And
not
confidence to do it.
To do it, no one else can do it. Like, I'm always amazed at some of the tries they score just off a loose ball that's just bouncing all over the place. It's like, yep, boom, try.
like Justin Hodges too, like his resilience too. Like he had heaps of season-ending injuries, didn't he? Like
And just lower leg injuries because he refused to do leg weights. He
Yeah.
just refused to do them.
I heard that.
Hated them.
Yeah.
Mate, hated him. But he actually trained, like in regards to fitness and that, he actually trained pretty hard. Like it wasn't like, it was just specifically what leg weights he didn't like. I tell you what, obviously the, whatever you want to call it, shark bait, in the circle, wrestling or whatever. He was very much inclined to a gentleman's agreement. So if you went with him, he would go with you. If you went a little bit, I'll never forget. So Wayne would ask me to go one-on-one tackle with him, and I'm this young kid. I'm 18 years old, trying to impress Wayne, whatever. And so he runs straight at me. I get low, and he's quite tall, and pick him up and put him on his back. And obviously, Hodjo wasn't going as hard as he could. Anyway, so I'm thinking, yeah, got him, fuck yeah, like impressing Wayne, thinking I'm mad. The next fucking 10 runs, he absolutely rissoled me. Just fucking threw me around the little 10-meter mark we had. But yeah, in regards to the shark bait in the middle, if you ticked him off, he would start flipping blokes. It doesn't matter whether you're a front rower or a little winger.
Just had that strength.
I imagine that he's not the guy who's just going to be overly concerned with his weights and what he's lifting, etc. But he was strong. Bro.
Do you remember the battles him and Willie Tonga had?
Yeah.
Like 04, like through to 06, the battles they had.
And I think that's what I'm alluding to. Like, I just miss. There was a period there where centers, there was like so many gun centers, and they could literally pull apart a game.
Well, even Latrell and Jimmy the Jet, like they'd go at each other. You had the Indigenous boys.
Chambers, Latrell and Origin.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That was good.
Gags.
That was good. Dan Gaga, I'll never forget his debut. He debuted at fullback, yellow boots on, probably maybe a little bit too soon, but you could tell the talent was there. He was a gun coming through. The amount of times like they'd try to force him to put on weight, he'd be drinking bottle after bottle of water. We'd get fined every single week.
he's spoken about that a few times. The water weight, they'd make him, it was torture. Like
We'd get fined financially. So we're battling. Like this is back in the day where you weren't in the top squad. Even if you were, as a young fella, you're on 40K, 50K. And yeah, if you missed every kilo that you missed, it was a $250 fine. So
Really?
Wow,
yeah,
that is heavy,
yeah,
bro.
so we'd all be at the smaller guys would be at the back, just sculling. Even though we were eating correctly, doing the protein. shakes
Legit
every
took your
night.
money?
Yeah, 100%.
Wow.
And yeah, there'd be blokes nearly throwing up or throwing up after they got on the scales just to
get
put
water
weight on.
weight.
Yeah, it's just a dumb time.
When you're that young too, and like you're told to put weight on, like the amount of money you churn through trying to like eat and get your groceries sorted.
Mate.
But at the same time, like being that young, you're not
Weight
like the
was a
best
big
chef
thing back in
either.
the day. It was like much more, like even
was
towards the
always-
end of my career, it was still a thing, but mainly just for guys who were way too overweight.
So Wayne was never like that. Wayne was always like, if you're good enough to make your tackles, that's all that matters. Anthony Griffin came in and he very much was about trying to bulk people up. I always didn't like it. And I feel like as a game, and you'd know much more about this, mate, but like we've kind of understood that putting extra muscle mass on doesn't necessarily make you better or faster or stronger. Your body needs to have the like your skeletal kind of frame can only carry a certain amount before it starts having negative impact. But yeah, that was Anthony Griffin.
Give us an example of what you were weighing and what he wanted you to get to.
So like in my good season at the Broncos under Wayne, I was 82 kilos when I played.
Wow.
I got up to about 84, but
you were lightning quick. That's the allowance you have.
that's what fucking pissed me off so much was like, I can be the fastest in the NRL, or at least one of the fastest.
Yeah.
In my head, I can be the fastest. I'll tell you what, I'll never be the strongest. You know what? I won't even be in the top 100 strongest. So why the fuck are you taking away my one asset
Yeah.
so that I can dominate a tackle here or there?
It's
who
very
gives a shit?
narrow-minded. Like, that's my concept, and this is what we're doing.
It's just crazy. So my best year, so I rocked up to NRL and I was 71 kilos. And that was coming from soccer. I could run all day, put on 10 kilos in the first preseason. And then 82 was probably my best weight. They wanted us up at 90. And it was just like, I am not going to make 90 kilos at a young age. Maybe as I got older, but it doesn't.
It was a
add
different
anything.
time. I remember when I was young looking at Gaz and Cooper. I was like, bro, they look like the biggest humans ever. Like, and arguably they probably were like 103, 104 kilos.
Crazy.
But I used to look at them just like, oh my God, they are massive. They feel like props now.
Yep.
It's like they were fucking huge.
They were so big.
and fast and would
fast.
just put you on skates.
Yeah. In regards to some favourite moments by Indigenous fellas, I mean, the double fend in Origin by Greg Inglis. For me,
Oh, yeah.
the Thurston conversion with a bung shoulder in Origin, I think, from the sideline. Was it again for Queensland? And he had a fuck shoulder. Yeah, game 2, 2017, shoulder gone, needed a reconstruction from the sideline, and it was to win it. Fucking nails it, bro. With a shoulder that needs a reco, just goes bang, nails it. He's probably pound for pound one of the toughest halves, at least of the modern era, I'd say, JT.
Yeah,
He's
and
so
he would have been game planned like through that period too, where it was less fatigue, so you're able to really game plan at a player.
And
he would
jam
have
blokes
had
after they pass too.
back rowers would have just been told all day, just run at him.
Yeah.
JT for me, because I came through the Dogs with him at the same period, like he's immortal for me. Like some of the people might not agree, but just the way he managed games and what he was doing in 02 when he was 18 against reserve grade players that had played 150, 200 games.
And this is when reserve grade was mad.
Oh, yeah.
Like for me, JT and the way he downloaded and processed the game was similar to Cameron Smith for me. And I think he's immortal status for me.
He would be, bro. You know what else about that? Cameron Smith, I reckon he had one injury. Like he literally, I think he's probably rolled an ankle. Whereas you think about what JT's had to go through, what would his career have looked like from statistics to everything else? If he, like, how much time did he spend out of the game with his shoulders?
He had the double seatbelt.
I think he had
He couldn't
4
lift his
shoulder
hands
recos?
past here. He was
crazy.
He was catching balls with because you obviously don't want to put your shoulder past that point. Mate, JT, I think also in regards to like immortality, and I understand a lot of it, 99% of it has to be what they did on the field. But I do believe you leave 1% for what they meant to the game as well in regards to the impact they had. And I just think Thurston's impact to the game, you can't really deny that. Like it's important what he did for the game. For little fellas that were constantly told, nah, you're not big enough, you can't play. Obviously for the Indigenous community, but little fellas of any persuasion.
Oh yeah, and I mean Preston Campbell's in that same
Yeah,
conversation.
so-
What he was able to do, like, he shouldn't have been able to.
And like think about Thurston. He came through at a time where back rowers were literally told if he passes the ball, fucking jam him.
Yeah,
as
and there
hard as
was
you
no
can.
rules around it.
And they were literally being told if he passes the ball, make sure you
Still
hit him.
take him out,
Yeah,
yeah.
make sure you hit him.
Yeah.
Nowadays, you can't touch the
Bro, if he was playing now, it would be a joke.
I got a video of when we played the Cowboys, and he's standing in a tackle. He gets caught held, and I just come from the side and jam him in the ribs so hard. And then Carl Webb grabs me. And I say, oh. Sorry, mate. Sorry. Sorry, Deadly.
But let us know in the comments section your favourite Indigenous player moment or Indigenous player. Any other Indigenous player moments that you can? I mean, there's heaps like the Charles field goals.
Yeah, obviously like GI, South Grand Final. But actually, I was just thinking then, you know what? And it's for a different reason. It was in my mind. It was because as a New South Wales supporter, I used to hate it. But I always like ball playing back rows, so like your Wade Grahams or someone that probably doesn't get, I reckon, credit for it was Sam Thaiday.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, big Sammy
He
T.
used to, some of those, when I was, like, you know, when you're sitting there on a Wednesday night watching Origin and he was playing for Queensland on that right edge, some of those plays that Lockyer, Slater and Smith and Thurston would set up with Sam Thaiday, like those out to in balls to Billy, mate, I used to look at them and go, shit, they'd game plan so well. And he had, like, for a big guy, like, and he'd have like really good footwork.
Yeah, the way he moves,
but he had really good hands.
But he was also an aggressor too.
Yeah.
Yeah, big Sammy T. He was great. Yeah, very lucky to when I came into footy. I probably I just went to a normal Catholic school. It wasn't like a rich school or anything, just a Catholic school. We didn't really we learnt about like the dream time in study of religion and everything like that, but we didn't really interact. I don't think we had an Indigenous person in our school, and so when I went to league, I probably wasn't aware of the impact of Indigenous culture in locker rooms in rugby league. When I came into footy, because I didn't really know anyone, and I was pretty alone, to be honest, and it was an Indigenous family. You know, it was Ian Lacey, Sam Thaiday, the Appos, the last name's the Appos, that took me in and really, like, they would cook us feeds. They never asked for anything in return. And so, like, for my experience with that culture, it's nothing but positive. It's nothing but positive.
Yeah.
And I think that in rugby league, because they're such an ingrained part of rugby league, you guys probably, and I say you guys, and I'm talking in the sense of before I came into rugby league, probably aren't aware of like how much their culture impacts just the day-to-day game. But if coming from the outside in, you can see it actually in real time. So yeah, Indigenous round, great round. The jerseys, I tell you what, the jerseys are getting better each year. Some of the jerseys rolling out are that good, good.
Knights one this week's one of the best Knights ones I've ever seen, actually.
Yeah, so good. The Broncos one. Who else? I don't mind the Dolphins one. Someone
There's
else.
the Titans one, Jack.
One.
Happy?
Let
Interesting.
me have a look. Get it up
Not
for you.
memorable.
What ones do you like?
I've met on social
Matty?
this week, mate.
Of course. I'm trying to think. Someone had a hectic, I think, yellow one. Is it the Titans that had the yellow one?
I haven't seen the Bulldog one yet.
Let me check. But yeah, the Indigenous jerseys are mad. Let me check. Yes, the Titans one's mad. So the Titan one's actually black.
I can't see it.
But
Have you got it?
Yeah, with the bright colours.
Oh, yeah,
it's
there it
sick.
is.
Can you switch that around?
Oh, yeah, that is cool. Shit.
So it's like
Oh, yeah, nice.
it's mad. So,
Yeah.
all right, boys, I have my own thoughts, but there's a reason why this next segment I wanted to go to you guys and, you know, ask your, I guess, opinion. I'm a little bit worried about our recruitment, the Broncos' recruitment heading into next year. Not that I'm unhappy with Barnett, Dan Gagai at all, but more around that. What have we recruited, especially considering like we've lost Jensen and we've lost Payne Haas. And so I just did a little exercise and looked at, okay, what's Madge's recruitment been like at each club that he's been at? And let's have a look at it and see if his recruitment is a strong suit, not a strong suit. Now, I understand that Madge isn't the only one that's part of it. You've got a head of recruitment. But I think a coach like Madge, because he probably has a lot of say of who comes to his club, it's not like he's a rookie coach that's young that doesn't have say in who comes to his club. And even when he signed with the Rabbitohs, he'd won a couple of premierships in the Super League, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, Wigan.
Yes, so he came with experience. Anyway, so here's his recruitment for the Rabbitohs. Benny Teo, Jeff Lima, Thomas Burgess, Bryson Goodwin, Glenn Stewart, Cookie, Damien Cook, Joe Burgess, Robbie Rockow, Robbie Farah, Luke Kelly, and Anthony Sherrington. The Tigers, his recruitment was Adam Dewey, Leilua, both Leilua brothers, Zane Musgrove, James Roberts, James Tarmow, Joe Offengawe, Dane Laurie, Jock Madden, Stefano Uto Ikamanu, Jackson Hastings, Gildart from the Super League, Tyrone Peachy, Brent Naden, Stafford Toa, and Junior Tupou. And then his signings for the new year for the Broncos are Ben Hunt, Tom Duffy, Oblix Toffa, I think I'm saying that right, Mitch Barnett, Jonah Pezzett, and Dan Gagai. Boys, thoughts, is there a little bit, would you say that's a good recruiting head coach, an okay recruiting head coach, some concerns in regards to recruitment? Especially because he's been at 2 clubs, at least out of the 2 of the 3, you'd argue should have power to recruit well.
Without pretending that I have like the ultimate knowledge of the context around, when he got there, when they recruited, etc., I would say there's probably a few names in there that stick out that are towards the back end of their career. Now, whether he did that strategically to try and bring in that leadership or experience, but I don't think it's horrible. I don't think it's like that bad. On the Broncos situation, again, I think like you're losing a guy like Haas. I don't know that there's too many talents in that position outside of Mitch Barnett that are on the market. And I do think that Broncos are kind of in quite a strong position, regardless of how they're going right now in terms of their player roster list. So like, I don't, on paper for this conversation, like I don't look at it and think like it's that bad or extreme, but I know you would certainly have a bit more context as to maybe the timing of some of the decisions, and it might paint a bit of a different picture.
Well, like I know why people think that Broncos are in a good spot, but their depth is actually quite, it's actually one of the worst depths in the competition.
You reckon?
Really?
100%.
Well, who's the feeder clubs?
Multiple different ones.
Right,
Multiple different ones. But like, okay, name their backup front rowers at the moment.
You got Ben Talty. Oh, yeah, off the bench, you mean? Or like sort of behind that?
Yeah, like off the bench, even deeper than that.
Sorry, mate, I don't really focus on the Broncos.
I couldn't tell you.
In fairness to
Compare it to the Dolphins, for example.
yeah, well, Dolphins, yeah, they've done very well, and then like even I remember watching them in the trial at the start of the year and watching their backup team go on, and I was like, oh, Felice Kafusi, oh, Tom Gilbert, like I was like, you know what I mean, like you had these guys come on,
Plath, Donahue, they Orion Keeley, literally they allowed him to go. We'd kill for a guy like Orion Keeley right now on an edge with the backup.
I do think like in terms of the Tigers signings, it's a hard one because they were obviously battling through that period. Like his job was to sort of get them off the turf, and that's hard.
So when he took over, I think they had finished 9th. So they were mid-table.
Yeah.
When he took over, they were mid-table.
So would you give South a pass? I'd give South recruitment there.
Okay, it's a tough one because like obviously he won the comp. I guess in regards to him not getting re-signed, Sammy Burgess left, Benny Teo left. He had the opportunity to re-sign and continue flowing forward, and he didn't.
Yep.
And so, like, if he had a re-signed well, in my opinion, does he get let go from the Rabbitohs?
He had a very good squad he walked into. I guess.
Exactly.
Is he the one who primarily
Ben Teo's his best signing there for sure.
Was GI there before Madge got there?
Yeah, 2012.
Yeah, right.
2011. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, after the salary caps. Yeah. Look, the good thing is with the Broncos that might suit him is I think Mitch Barnett's probably the pick of the bunch. Like Gags is going for another year, whether he plays wing or centre, I'm not too sure. Jonah Pezzett coming, but Mitch Barnett's probably the big fish, I guess, in terms of bringing him over from the successful Warriors this year. The good thing is for them the fact that they've got they invest pretty heavily in their pathway system. So if you do have guys like Gags coming in for an extra year or whatever it is, and Barney for another 2 or 3 years, like you do, hopefully they've been able to replace now these guys like Haas that they are leaving. They will be able to develop some. I guess that's the most beneficial part of being a big club like that can really invest in their pathways is the fact that I suppose the context of bringing some guys in like Gags, for example, who it might be just for 1 year. It's not necessarily going to be to block a pathway. It's actually 1 year, and then he's going to mentor a guy coming through.
Yeah, I feel like he adds value in that respect. And when you sign Jonah Pezzett, you might be thinking it's a masterstroke at the time.
Yeah. What about salary cap wise? Are they top heavy? Like, do they have enough money in the cap?
Interesting. Because Renault's finishing up.
And he's not on much money.
Oh, he's not?
No, not for this last year.
Benny Hunt would
He'd
took
not
a
be on
significant
no,
pay
he's not
cut.
on that much money, Benny
So
Hunt.
you'd have Reece Walsh on big money.
You'd have at least $1 million for it. You'd have one. They probably have, unless they've upgraded people. To my knowledge, I don't think they have. If you've got Payne Haas leaving, who's on over $1 million, and you've got Jensen Dunn, who would be on about 500-600K, he'd have about 1.8 to work with. You'd say 1.8, and they said they're going to go in the market. I look at Tougher. Unfortunately, All Blacks Tougher. He hasn't really hit the ground running. I think he's been injured and also hasn't hasn't been great. Duffy's been a good signing. I'll credit that.
Yep.
I don't know. I just think I look across I look across town to the Dolphins and I look at their depth. We had to go out. We got Preston Ricky in. He's battled hard, but I'm not sure. He's killed it. If you look at Jazeski has come in. He's battled hard, hasn't necessarily killed it. Hunt has came in, not Ben Hunt, the other Hunt. They've all tried really hard, but unfortunately hasn't really worked.
Can we address the elephant in the room?
Yes, what's that?
Is it Madge?
I'm not willing to blame it all on Madge just yet because you could argue the setup.
Yeah,
the setup to him arriving, the reason why we're in this position.
Well, what I'm saying is, could players be talking amongst themselves and saying, this is like a really tough preseason, a really intense season under Madge?
Well, I spoke.
Are you willing to go through?
Well, I spoke about this about a month ago. Similar to what you're saying, I'm saying like the tough thing for Madge, whether it is true or not, his reputation precedes him. So he's not only going in the market looking for the best player, he's looking for the best player that's willing to go through what he is going to put.
Couldn't
them through.
agree more.
And that's a qualifier that reduces the pool in which you can recruit from.
Correct.
And so, like, look at his signings. Barnett, a bit older, but old school, tough. Probably can get through hopefully get through it.
Yeah.
Dan Gagai, old school, been through it all.
Yep.
Pezzett is at the moment not looking, to be fair, Dinkum, it's not looking great for Pezzett. Now, granted, that might be because of the Eels system, but, he went to the Eels and the Eels are at the bottom of the table and he can't get a start. Volkman's got to start over him. Now, I hope that once he gets into the Broncos system, we'll see what Madge has in store for him and he kills it. But like right now, if you were to sit here and say, as a marquee signing, is it looking good? You'd have to say no.
Well, he's gone through a Bellamy system, so a Madge system won't be foreign to him. So I think he'll thrive under a Madge system.
The only thing I'd say is like with Jonah Pezzett, he's been solid in first grade. I'm still not convinced that I feel like the attention has outweighed what he's actually done in first grade so far. Now, that doesn't mean he can't go on to do great things, but yeah, like he's currently being beaten by Volkman.
Well, yeah, and I think what he did in the semi-final series last year is that everyone's leaning their hat on that and how good he was against the Dogs.
Strong kicking game and kind of let him around a little bit. Yeah.
I've seen this with Brodie Croft as well. It reminds me of that. He
Yeah.
actually went to the Bronx, didn't he? And like he's done some good things, but I don't know. Every now and again, these players in that position, well, not so much he didn't do some good things for the Broncos, but I think he's doing well in Super League, whether that's a reference or not. But he come up, he was a gun, just the same as Pezzett. Like had all the accolades. He was the man.
Cooper Johns.
So I don't know. Is that also, what about the conversation we've been having around who's on the market now and who's on the market next year? Does that paint a picture for the war chest being?
Yeah.
Here's an example. So Penrith Panthers have been like their cap should be absolutely just squeezed within each of its life. They went and got, I'm pretty sure it was 2 forwards out of New South Wales Cup Warriors side that went on a record run last year. So the idea that if your cap is crazy, you can't go and recruit some of these best reserve grade players, it's not true because Penrith do it. And you look at the year before that, Blaze Talangi, one of the hottest young talents in the competition. They got him to the club. Now, granted, I understand he's recently been dropped, but they still made a prelim last year with him. Some of these other, like you look at the Roosters at the moment, they're moving and shaking in the market.
Yeah, but see, Broncos have never been that franchise that have been able to do what Storm, Penrith and the Roosters have, which is bring players through and turn them into superstars. Like in that respect, like I don't look at the Broncos going, hey, let's go into Q Cup, pull a player who's doing well, is an unknown, and all of a sudden, by next year, he's a household name. And Storm and Penrith have done that consistently for the last few years, and I think it's a big part of the reason for their success.
Yeah, I look at that more so and think that's great salary cap management. Like I look at that and go, they haven't hung their hat. Like they've been able to, particularly the Storm, right? Like some of those guys they've been able to get them on unders and make them better players for what they're worth. Like was there any noise ever when Josh King signed from Newcastle? When I was with Newey at Newey when Kingy was there. I remember 2021, Kingy played maybe 3 or 4. He was 18th man a lot, maybe 3 or 4 reserve grade games, and then maybe got maybe 7 or 8 first grade games, and then over the course of one preseason signing with Melbourne, he was their starting 13.
Starter.
Yeah, there's so many of those stories in Melbourne.
And that's where that's also it's incredible management. Like though, and I do think that post-COVID things have changed. It's been moved around now where your salary cap should be, like particularly just so much emphasis on that whole spine. And like even Newey this year, we're seeing like if you do focus your money on that spine and you build the rest of the squad around blokes that are gonna, not strangle your salary cap, but can get the job done.
Yep.
Like it's like, Payne's an incredible player because of what he can do over the course of 80 minutes. Like plays massive minutes, incredible stats. I look at Payne and think a huge benefit to Payne is over the course of a game is the fact that he can save you an interchange as well because he does this amount of work and just doesn't seem to drop off, right? But on the other side of it, you got people who go, well, obviously he's got that plus to him, but if we spend a interchange, are we able to replicate those stats and minimize our risk?
Put the money into the spine.
The work's halved. If he gets suspended, it's even worse on the strat. And then worse if he gets injured. Whereas you can manage that across two different people.
Yeah,
it's very
correct.
managing your salary cap's just very like it's such a science.
Would you say that so right now, this is going to hit you between the eyes, boys, considering all the drama around the Tigers, like they have dealt with the off-field from hell, they have more wins this year than the Broncos do. The Broncos are sitting second last. Now, do you think that the Broncos have a better team heading into next year or a worse team?
A better
Better team.
You reckon the Broncos, as in not compared to the Tigers, as in Broncos compared to themselves? Lose Haas, lose Reynolds, Hunt's a year older.
Still, like when you get
still a
healthy
top
Ezra
four
Man,
side.
Reece Walsh,
Yeah.
you got Markey, Pat Carey.
No, I'm
Still
not,
have a
I'm
good
not-
team.
I'm saying compare it to itself.
What do you mean by that?
It's
Like,
not
it's
far
like
off.
further in
So
depth.
Payne Haas is
do you-
like the big one.
Are you?
Yeah.
What I'm saying is that do you reckon on paper the Broncos are better than they were on paper heading into this season? Because at the start of this season we're talking back to back,
It's black and white because Payne Haas is gone.
and Adam Reynolds.
You know what
as well.
affects that for me? What makes it a hard question is the fact that it's Renault and Hunter a year older. And like that, like this year compared to last year, for example, comparing it against themselves, every year you go back, they get better and better because of the fact that they're just a bit younger.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I would say that on paper, at least, that they're a slightly weaker side than
Slight. Of course.
than the side heading into the season last year.
Yeah.
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 So I guess we'll see. But I just thought it would be a good exercise to get you guys' thoughts on the recruitment. And I want to be clear that the state in which the Broncos are in right now, that is not solely Madge's fault. He's in his second year of coaching. He's not responsible for the pathways that have been building towards this point for the last 4 or 5 years. Like he's walked into this squad. So I'm not holding him accountable for that. But I am a little bit looking at the recruitment for heading into next year. Unless there's been signings that I'm unaware of, our depth, we need to find some other people.
What are they doing with Walters?
They've held off, but it's looking like they're resigning, which means we'll lose either Blake Moser or Jaskowski, I think, Bukowski, probably Moser. Now, Moser's been injured quite a bit, but I don't think it's worth losing him. I think if we're going to sign Billy Walters, you maybe look at some of the other,
Some of the guys that developed, I don't think, look at Gemmet Shibasaki. You can't underestimate what Madge can do with someone over the course of a whole preseason. Because that is obviously the bad part of the way how hard he works him is might be an increased injury rate and hard to retain people and recruit. But
gonna benefit
the
some
one
people,
good
though.
thing is he'll guarantee someone will come in and do their first ever preseason or first ever preseason under Madge, and he'll probably get them to play the best they've ever played.
Absolutely.
Maybe it's Peasant.
Yeah.
Maybe. Hope so. And also heading into next year, Shibasaki, he's also leaving. He's going to Perth Bears. Alrighty, boys. It's time for a segment around Origin. James Maloney. Andrew Johns said on Freddie in the 8th that the perfect person for Matt King to bring into Origin camp would be James Maloney. Obviously because he's been there and done it, but because of his energy and his ability to be the light. Brad Fittler agreed, saying James Maloney was massive for him in 2019 when he brought him back for Game 2. Also, what do you boys think of Matty King's appointment?
I like Matty King's appointment. It was the obvious choice, really. He's been, assistant coach
He's earned
for
it for
3
sure, yeah.
years. He's been an assistant coach since 2017. Look, everyone wants Joey and all these big name sort of players, but we've spoken about it before. Not necessarily the best player to ever play Origin or the game can transfer it over into coaching, right? And Joey has he'd be more suited, and your old boy Jack, as to come in and be an advisor and give that's their role.
Yeah.
I think someone like Matty King, he's the X's and O's. interchange. I know we stuffed it up a little bit this year, but I just think he's the obvious choice. Someone like Jimmy Maloney coming in definitely be great off the field, like for a bonding session.
Mate, he'd probably want to strap it on and get out there.
Yeah, 100%. But you know what? Like I think he's got a great footy brain. Jimmy, So I want to bring in a young coaching squad, just like Queensland. You know, you've got Nate Miles, Thursto, Billy. Is Kem in there anymore?
Not anymore, but he was in there. He was.
Yeah. Okay. So you want a young coaching squad that is in touch with the modern day player as well. So good luck to Matty. I'm stoked he's going to be there. You know, he wins 1 or 2 series, then Ivan Cleary. So who says that Ivan Cleary is going to be perfect man for the job as well?
I've said that before too. Like, look at Craig Bellamy. He's gone in there and it hasn't really worked out in Origin. Like now, Ivan Cleary might be different. I'm not saying he's not going to succeed.
Yeah.
But I just think this idea that you automatically are going to succeed because of either you're a good player or a coach, it's just Origin's a different beast, man.
Yeah.
Different beast.
I
Sometimes
do
it's
think a
luck too.
dedicated Origin coach is probably the way to go. Someone who specifically is focusing on that. I'm excited for Matty King to have his moment as well. So it'll be cool to see what he brings to the table with more of a leadership
What about
role.
Jimmy Maloney coming in? What do you reckon, Jack?
Yeah, I like it. Obviously, Jimmy's had a very he's got an incredible career. He's had that, and obviously playing in the halves too. Whether he can offer that, you know, I think Brett White's there at the moment. If he can offer that attacking assistant side of it, that'll obviously help assist Matty King. But you never know. Matty King's probably got someone lined up ready to go. But yeah, I like the appointment of Matty too. Like I think he's anyone talks about Matty King, they all say what a great fella he is. And Cooper was like a massive fan of the Storm growing up, so he always used to froth Matty King. He's got all these photos of him back at our place. Yeah, it'll be interesting to do. Like the other thing too is like even just the media hype around it all. Like it'll be interesting to see because obviously it gets personal even when you try to avoid it at Origin level at some point. It'll be interesting to see how it all goes down.
Yeah.
I will say, like, I think unless you are coaching now, like, so if you're in the media now or whatever and you're just kind of doing your thing and you love doing media, I personally think if you're going to go into Origin, you should already be coaching in some capacity. Because it's like for example, Jimmy Maloney, if he isn't coaching in some capacity right now, it kind of feels like, does he have the love required of coaching to get a job like, you know what I'm saying? It almost feels like, yeah, I'll go in because it's Origin.
Yeah.
But I'm of the mind of like, and look, it doesn't have to be some hectic coaching gig in the NRL or whatever, but doing some coaching in some capacity because it does feel a little bit like, oh, I'll do it because it's Origin rather than I love coaching. And I think like the reason why I don't mind Matt King getting selected to be the head coach of Origin of the Blues, even though he hasn't coached an NRL side, is he's been in coaching and he loves coaching.
Loves it.
And as a coach, either whether it's Origin or whether it's even Clubland, you've got to love. You can't just want to be going there because it's a payday.
Yeah.
It's good for my profile. And I'm not suggesting that's what James Maloney would do because James Maloney's not the one that put his name forward.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, I personally think unless you're a legend that's just retired, or you're actually coaching, whether it's under 16s, 17s, whatever, assistant coaching somewhere, it kind of does feel a little bit like if you want to be there as assistant coach. Because, like, if you're going to be an assistant coach, you've got to know the current meta of rugby league. Like, what's the current flow of the game at the moment? What's all the little things that we're all as media pundits going to find out in 3 or 4 years that people are doing? Like, for example, you look at the Penrith Panthers, it's like common knowledge now that they recruit specific types of players that are really fit. Whereas in the first couple of years, we didn't know that. We didn't know that, right, like Penrith were building this dynasty on fitness. And so, like, that was a meta in rugby league that was existing without our knowledge. And if you're not in the game right now as it's all happening, like, I reckon other coaches would have been aware. They would have seen the data. They would have seen the recruitment type and said, oh, shit, okay, they're recruiting like this. And so that's where I think, like, it's really important that you're in the game currently coaching to be an assistant
Fair
coach.
point.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think he will add value, but yeah, that is a good
Look,
point.
he could be an advisor, like kind of like what Joey would come in sometimes with Nathan Cleary and just talk to him about kicking and that. I think that's more than. But I think as an actual assistant coach, that you're in the box making changes, advising to the head coach, like, this is what I need you to do, or this is what I think you should do. I think you've got to be in the game, or recently retired.
Like you said, I'm interested and confident that Matty King probably does have a few people that he'd love in that role.
He'd know his team already.
100%.
He would have already dreamed it in his mind. Like, this is a big goal.
I'm actually
for him.
excited for that.
Yeah, he would have been like, we all do it like when we're about to make first grade or whatever. We've been thinking about that for years before it actually happens. He would have been thinking about the head role of Blues coach and who would be his right and left hand man. For ages now.
Yeah,
I reckon.
Being an assistant at the Roosters for so long, like I'm sure like Fitzy, like he'd be eyeing off. Like he hasn't really been spoken about as the next off the rank, right? But I think now, particularly now, if he goes on a successful like period for the next 1 or 2 years, like there's he'll if he can handle the pressure, he'll have clubs like
Look at
every year.
Billy Slater, like nearly any club will have Billy Slater as a head coach now.
Yeah, like what's the rate at the moment? We've had 2 coaches sacked this year, right? And there's still an off season to come. Like even the year before, there was 2 last year. Again, was there, and then the year before that, I think there was 3, including Kevy.
Yeah.
So it's like there's like people will remember like there's the coaching merry-go-round is churning blokes out, spitting them back out every year. So if he goes right here, and the pressure cooker of Origin, like it's a way higher intensity than NRL level. Like if he can handle it for the 6-week block consistently and handles himself fine, I'm sure like clubs will definitely.
Well, his
look at
name hasn't really been tossed up when coaches have been sacked. It's like this is what he
This is his
wants.
moment, yeah.
He wants Origin,
Which is good.
before he puts his hand up
Yep.
for an NRL club. I haven't heard his name be tossed up for
No,
Dragons.
not at all. Not at all.
Manly. It's all like I want Origin.
Yep. Which is exactly what you want.
Exactly.
It's such a different beast.
Exactly.
I agree.
Yeah.
Okay, before we move on, powered by Lontel, guys. Everything we do here, Lontel Internet is what backs it in. Lontel.net.au/bloke. Use your code bloke. Make sure to use the code. You get a 7-day free trial. You get credit. No contracts, no credit cards required. Trust me. If you get home, you call the number, they can have you connected in minutes. So I know you're sitting there going, I don't want to sit on the phone for 45 minutes or whatever. Sign up. Just sign up. That first of all, just signing up supports the platform. It's really helpful for us. So if you want to support us, that's a good way. But just give them a call. Even if you're not going to connect, you'd be shocked at how good they are. Lontel.net.au/bloke. Okay, guys, Tallis Duncan. Jackie Whiten says Tallis Duncan could be a future Rabbitohs captain and wants the club to do all they can to re-sign him. Quote, he's the club's future. He's probably the club's next captain, if you ask me. He's a great role model. He's a great leader. And he does that with his actions and being upfront. The club would be foolish if they didn't prioritise him. He'd be first off the rank if it was me running the club. I think they're definitely going down the right lines there. As I said, I can see him as the next captain of this whole club. Then Tallis Duncan said, I love this club. And if everything was the same and it was up to me, I'd be here forever. I love this club, but I feel like at the moment it's time for football and all that stuff can come later. Boys, thoughts on it doesn't mean really a story or whatever, but it does feel like the elephant in the room is PNG for Tallis Duncan. He's a gun.
He's a gun.
Let's say you offer him $800K to stay at the Rabbitohs. Let's say PNG offer him $700K. It's essentially like double.
Yeah.
Or not double, but like 1.5. Thoughts, boys?
Hearing this, Jack's comments and then also his comments echoing the same thought and perspective, I feel like if you are trying to sign him, yes, dollars and cents are going to matter, but you probably have to propose a runway where he can be in a position of leadership or he's recognised and acknowledged for his future in the club. So that might be enough. It feels like it will be enough based on those comments and thoughts. So as long as they lay it out in the right way and tell him what he needs to hear, based on truth, of course, confidently it might get done. And you certainly don't want to lose a guy like him. He's a gun. It would be devastating.
Mate, I had a little bit to do with him in under 15s, and he is like the ultimate professional, the ultimate player that just wanted to learn. Like he'd stay back after training and ask John Sutton and I questions about the game. Like he loves it. He lives, he breathes footy. He's reaping the rewards of, he was tiny in under 15s, really skinny. And
That's
I thought,
crazy.
and he played so tough.
Yep.
And I thought, you need to pull back a bit because you're going to get some really severe injuries, especially in the shoulders. And to see what he's doing now, like, I'm so proud of the kid, and I truly believe he wants to be a Rabbitoh. PNG is a concern, obviously, because of the money, but I think he would hold off on that, stay with South, and then maybe down the track PNG could come into account. But I just feel like his heart is a Rabbitoh.
Yeah, I like this tactic from South, whether it's like whether they've all sort of got together, the leadership crew or
let's
the
convince him.
organisation. No, I think it's like I've always thought that money is obviously a factor. It's one of the factors, right? But when someone, and you guys would know this, being around a club, like if someone feels like they are appreciated.
Yes. Wanted.
Wanted, appreciated, and I'm like, as you can see from comments like that, there's a lot of love for him getting around that club and
belief, Jack.
saying things like he could be a future captain of this club. I think
That does a lot for a young
other
man.
clubs should, like, with all this money getting around, other clubs should probably take note of how they're approaching this house, because I think that's the way to go, especially with like players that are coming off that you really can't afford to lose in terms of the future of your salary cap and club. I love this approach. I think it'll work in their favour. I think not saying that these things aren't true. They absolutely be true, and you can see that from the way they treat him and talk about him as a person off camera and stuff like that. But I just think that route of really wrapping him up in the club colours and making sure he feels appreciated, that's a great tactic.
Being influenced by the football department and Wayne is one thing. It's a very strong thing, to be honest. But when the leadership group doubles down and you're feeling the love from the players and senior players, I would say it's not impossible, but it is very difficult for a young player to walk away from that situation.
Boys, it's time for the rubber to meet the road. How much is he worth?
Tallis Duncan.
I would say a 3-year deal, probably a 5-year. You probably get a 5-year deal because like it's different age. 7, 8, 850, 859.
Yeah, with ratchets.
If you can get the ratchets out of there. I mean, I'm hearing a lot of ratchets chat lately. A lot of ratchets.
I don't even know what a ratchet is.
I'm pretty sure it's
ratchet
standard
clause?
practice now. I think that across the board it's like because of the way these contracts
Fucking
get
ratchets, eh?
and he's making
Get ya. They'll get you. Ratchet half the fucking squad, you're fucked.
Yeah. It's you know what? Do you think, Ren, like you probably looked at him probably a bit more carefully than us? Like, do you think he's played centre this year, right? And he's a back row. I think he's sort of closer to an out-and-out back row right now. But I look at him and think, as he's getting older, he'll move into that front row role, and I think he'll do a decent job.
Yeah, look, the way the game's going and how fast it is, it's like, what's the difference between a front row and a 13 now, right? Like he's mobile, he's quick, his utility value has put his price up as well. Being able to play multiple positions, it's like Savala.
Yeah.
It's like that utility role is so important.
Yeah.
It sort of went away for a while when the big man was on the bench. Now these guys that can cover multiple positions are faster at good footwork, fast feet, can cause chaos around the ruck. Like their value is going through the roof.
Having like a bit of diversity in your forward pack's really important too, and the fact that like size differences and everyone having different attributes. Like I think back in I reckon when was Des at the 2012? Were you in that? When grand final 2014 maybe, where you had that massive pack of front rows.
It was always 4 big men on the bench.
Massive front row, right?
Souths were the same.
Whereas now, as the rules have changed, I actually really like the teams that have one out-and-out big guy. Then you've got not small, but a more mobile forward, and then you have that ball-playing 13. Or at other teams, if they don't have the ball player, they've got another mobile guy there.
Yep.
I really like that model. Like I really enjoy seeing. Yeah, because you think about when you do pummeling before like a game and you're teaching kids how to tackle. Usually they find someone they want to pummel with or practice tackling with, and it's like maybe a best mate or someone on the field, and they get used to tackling that body shape. But then when you shift over and they've got to tackle someone smaller or taller, a different body shape, there's like you got to adjust. And it's very, very good. Like when you got the middle third rolling and you got 3 different body shapes coming at you, you've got to think. Otherwise, again, like you can knock yourself out if you don't tackle the same. You have to tackle everyone at a different midsection. So it's always really good to have diversity.
A good example of that is like you would assume that front rowers would way rather tackle wingers or small wingers, but you'd be shocked at how many front rowers I fucking hate small wingers because they're so fucking quick across the ground.
Or bony.
Yeah, or just they just hurt. Everything fucking
Late
elbows
feet.
are going over. There's late feet. Whereas everyone watching would go, well, of course they'd rather tackle the smaller man. It's like, no, actually, that fucking I'd way rather a big fella run it straight. I just put my shoulder. My boys put the shoulder in. We're good.
Yep.
Yeah.
I actually feel like the second row position has been impacted in the current game. Like it just doesn't seem as traditional. Like I feel like, X amount of years ago, I could clearly define the second row's role and what they did and the lines that they ran and the way that they contributed to shape. Whereas now it seems a lot looser.
A lot looser in terms of...
And even their defence. Like I just feel like their defence was very strategic and structured, how they worked with the half. but now it feels just like a little bit more open-ended.
Well,
you know?
like for example, Kickow and Hudson Young are worlds away from Boyd Cordner in styles of play.
Yeah.
And Boyd Cordner was the benchmark. It's like if you had a back rower, it's Boyd Cordner. He is tough as anything, runs crazy lines.
And my context, I guess, comes from the Storm was like peak prime Felice Kafusi and Kenny Bromwich. Like the way that it was very structured, very detailed, the role that they played in defense and attack. Whereas I don't see that now.
I love a back rower that can run the line, like just do their job, hit an inside 3-man shoulder, but can ball play and identify for their half a play. Like call hot or, like there's 3 defenders, someone retreating into the front row, coming to the blind side. I love a back rower that has the IQ of a half as well.
Like,
Almost like a
second row a
Glenn
bit of a
Stewart
work
/
junkie
Wade
now.
Graham kind of, yeah.
Is the second row a bit of like a work junkie now? Like they
of
do
them
a lot?
Yeah, particularly I reckon, particularly the right back row. That left, like you have your kick outs and you have those guys that a little bit of spark in their attack, like they've got a bit of something, like an offload, late offload, or that bit of ball playing. Those right back rows, like your Jacob Prestons, like I look at them and go, they're less about their physical attributes. Like they've got to be mobile. They've got to be all these things, right? That we're talking about. But like in terms of personality, like the personalities themselves, just consistent. Consistent. You got to be there. You got to make 40 tackles a game. You got to look after your half. You got to run hard lines.
Yep.
Those 3 things just consistently
That's what
communicate.
Olakawatu was so impressive because he does that. Plus, he's also
Exactly
can
right.
ball play. He can do
And that's why
everything.
he's worth more than the average, right?
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely. Absolutely.
He's a freak talent.
Yep.
Absolute. Like he'll go out and make 40 tackles and run 180 meters and have 4 offloads. It's just like fucking unbelievable. Okay. Junior Paulo, Mike Carianis is said on NL360 last night that Paulo's agent is asking for up to 900K for Junior Paulo. The 900 includes ratchet clauses. So if the cap goes up, it'll be 900, not the other way around. So what I'm assuming you're saying, Matty, is that the ratchet is the fact that it stays at 900. Oh, okay. So he's asking for 700. Okay. But 900 if it goes up. Okay.
Also, that's like an executed ratchet. So he wants it to go to a certain amount.
Like, I think that's just an estimate.
Because usually, from what I've been able to read on the ratchet contracts,
Yeah, hit us with the ratchet definition, please, Jack
Yeah.
Jones.
Oh, well, I've been say you're on 500, Chandor. This is what I've read. So I could be wrong. Just take my word on it. But from my understanding of it, it is not so much when the ratchet happens, it goes to this amount. It's more so okay, you're on 500. Everyone across, because the standard practice now for all managers, and they should be, like if they haven't done this, they've done the wrong job, is everyone should have a ratchet across the whole salary cap, right? Yeah. Especially, particularly the top 30, pretty much only the top 30. And if the salary cap goes up from 12 to say 15, which is the minimum what they're saying at the moment, if that's, let's just say that's 20%, okay, then you should have, all those players should have a 20%. Their percentage of their increase should be a percentage
Scale
of
up,
the salary cap increasing, yes.
Yeah, so I don't think he'd be saying, I specifically want 900. I think Carianis is estimating, let's just say a 15% increase in the salary cap, and that would roughly come out to 900K.
Yeah.
Junior Paulo for 700K at a new club, I don't mind it. I'd like with the leadership that he'll offer, he's still playing relatively solid minutes.
Yeah.
Particularly front row. Like there's not many like veteran
find,
front rowers
man.
getting around.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
It's hard to find a guy that has been there and done it at every level of the game, is a captain of a club, and you know what you're going to get week in, week out. You know,
I think it's good timing for him, especially with the kind of Perth Bears floating around as well.
supposed to be a good fella too.
legend.
Yeah,
Everyone
he's a
says that.
cracker bloke.
Legend. Absolute legend of a bloke. Like, truly,
Yeah, he's a
did ya?
champion.
Yeah.
mate, he, and not, this shouldn't be a measure of whether you're a good bloke or not, but like anytime I've ever asked him for any help with anything, yep. Sweet.
It is a good measure, though.
Where do you want me?
Such
Like,
a
what do you
great
need?
kid.
Absolute legend of a bloke.
Hey, remember that Union game you played when he was younger?
Oh.
I can't remember if it was Para or Canberra when he played that game.
Para, I think.
Put the headgear on and went and played
And it was
third
his-
grade rugby.
Yeah, it was his like, it was his
I remember that.
What was his like stepbrothers or stepdads like?
Yeah. Yeah.
Something like that team. And so, yeah, he went on there and he was like, not even third grade.
Like a
I
day
think it
after
was
a
even
game,
further.
I think it was.
Yeah, and he had a headgear on so they didn't notice who he was.
Yeah, the old
Imagine
headgear.
being in fourth grade, you've been on the beers all the night before and you see Junior Paulo walking
He's
out.
been a great ambassador for Pacifica players as well.
Yeah.
Especially Samoan Rugby League. So
Well, he was captain that got when you got to the World Cup final, wasn't
he's still captain now.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been a real good ambassador for all Polynesians.
And even like an ambassador for kids that may have grown up in a neighbourhood and had friends that didn't necessarily go down, legit paths or whatever. You remember that time where he got in trouble for hanging around the wrong people when he was, I think, and then he had to move out of Sydney and go to Canberra.
Yeah.
Just a good example of giving a bloke a second chance to not necessarily bag his friends that he grew up with, but sometimes you're going to make some tough calls and focus on your family and your career. And I think there's a lot of young kids in footy that have similar pasts that grow up in certain areas that would have similar situations that he can actually. He can empathize with them. Like if I was to go in and say, "Oh, hey boys, don't do that," they're like, "Mate, you don't know what it's like. You didn't grow up like we grew up. You grew up in this
He's
area."
relatable.
Even though the Gold Coast is pretty crazy area.
Speaking of big forward
Main
packs,
streets.
when he went to Canberra, I think they had Junior Paulo, Big Papa, Tarpany, and Shannon Boyd.
Ooh,
Jesus,
That's big.
Solid.
That's a scary.
imagine the
Old
buffets
Canberra
there.
milk.
Imagine the buffets there. The big fella's just getting into it.
And they would have Paulie was there then.
Oh my god, that's big.
Paulie, yeah. Paulie. I forgot about him.
Okay, this is a different one. So Pope Leo the 14th is expected to visit Sydney on the 2028 October long weekend. Nine newspaper reported the Pope's Mass will likely be held at Royal Randwick while the NRL Grand Final is played in the city's west at Accor Stadium. It will put pressure on Sydney's public transport and road networks. The NRL and state government will not yet comment on whether any consideration has been given to moving the 28 Grand Final, so it does not clash with the Pope's visit, which is expected to draw huge crowds from across Australia and overseas. So they thought they'd go to the greatest minds in rugby league to work this logistics
makes
nightmare
sense.
out.
Yeah, all good. Just send him an invite.
Get him to come do the Mass before the game.
No, I've seen him. He's the American, like
After the game.
he would love sports.
Halftime show. It's a Mass.
He's been wearing Nikes. I've been.
Halftime show would be a genius marketing play. I tell you what.
Halftime show. He does his Mass. It's
Genius marketing
Always feel
play,
better
though.
after Mass. Don't you?
2028, surely Pope Leo could make some movements on his dates rather than moving the NRL Grand Final. Like, is that?
Whoa.
The Vatican won't be happy with that shit.
Don't get cancelled. I reckon halftime show. Halftime Mass. Why not?
Yeah. More for
Oh, it'd be genius.
Oh, I don't know. I think there might be a few issues there.
What's the issue?
Logistically, yes.
What do you mean? Tell them to love thy neighbour, treat one as you'd like to be treated. These are all great messages to send the young kids watching at home.
Just thinking about that South Park episode where all the religious flags turn into the Van Halen emblem, and then they just start rocking out to Panama.
I think halftime Mass.
I think we'd all agree though it will be a problem if they're on at the same time.
Yeah, look, it's a nightmare at the best of times getting out to a
you'd have
stadium.
what are they expecting? Like 300,000 people. You had people from the Pacific flying in. It'd be a logistical nightmare.
Yeah.
So Suncorp Stadium, lock her in. Ooh. Come on, boys.
We've had it there before.
You know what pisses me off is like people are so against it. It's like you do realise there are other states other than New South Wales that
It'd be
fucking
weird
play
not
this
having
game.
a Queensland team in the grand final though, you know?
Yeah, but we'll
probably
28, we'll be
fair
there,
chance.
mate.
Hey, you know what wouldn't surprise me with the PFL because he hates AFL so much.
Just
If
have it at
the
MCG.
whole season is delayed by a week and they do it the same weekend as the AFL.
Take the granny to PNG, they'll be up for it.
They bring it
By
forward
then.
1 week, the NRL season, and they do that.
Mate, bring it to Suncorp Stadium. It is the mecca of rugby league.
The Mecca.
The Mecca.
I think my girlfriend goes there.
Well, it was a religious joke.
Oh,
when
sorry.
you think about it, like the irony of calling it the mecca and
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, we got it.
Suncorp Stadium. Okay. Do you reckon Pope Leo related to Moses Leo by any chance? Or no? No relation? Okay. Alrighty, Back in My Day is brought to you by Aspley Mazda and Lukey the car man. Give him a follow, LDC_01. Also, if you need a car, give him a message. Brand new Mazda 6E out. So the Mazda electrical car is out, and also the brand new CX-5 out as well as a bunch of ex-rentals. So plenty of sales going on at the moment. Make sure to get down Aspley Mazda and grab a car today. But Lukey, mate, how was the weekend? I came up and we watched the Broncos together. How was it?
It was good, mate. We had our competition that we've run for a little bit for Bloke listeners, and one lucky winner and his wife got to come and watch Knights knock off the Broncos at Suncorp. So it was a great night for everyone.
Mate, it was awesome. So Fino, the Italian stallion, I like to call him, and his wife. So Fino was a Dragons fan, but his wife was actually a massive Broncos fan. It was a awesome day. The food was great seats as well, basically on halfway, which is awesome. They look, although the Broncos got pumped, they do it pretty well up there. They do it pretty well.
Yeah, no, they had a ball, actually. It was really good. Really good to hear the passion that those two had about footy, for one. Mad Bloke listeners. But we got to put on a bit of a treat for them, and then we got a little tour down to the sheds afterwards. Alex Glenn was very good to us, introduced to all the players, and got plenty of photos, autographs, and all the rest of it. They had an absolute ball, so it was good for them. Probably not the result they wanted, but anyway, there were some people that were happy that night.
Yeah, so massive congratulations to Fino and his partner for winning that, and also, you can, having spoken to them, they love the service at Aspley Mazda. Mate, what is going on at the moment at Aspley Mazda? Any big deals going?
I think you covered it pretty well, Denon. There is heaps, actually. New model, new Mazda 6 electric. Everyone's been waiting for that. That's out now. If you haven't driven one, it's the real deal. Get in amongst it. DM me for more details on that, because that car, I'm now a true believer. I wasn't probably in the past, a little bit skeptical, but now after driving one, I can see what all the craze is about. The new CX-5, insane, that car. And we've just extended our rental yard, actually built a new yard for our ex-rentals. So we've got plenty of them coming every month. So if you're looking for a bargain on CX3 or CX5, sub kind of 30 grand, those cars, 1 year old, brand new, I'm ready to move on those as well. So heaps happening here as per usual.
Mate, for the listeners, even if you're just curious, give Lukey a message, LDC_01. And before I let you go, mate, the Dragons, they've signed the Couchman brothers till 2030. Pacifica Tonga, he's re-signed. Mate, things are looking good.
I'll tell you what, Cody coming on board as well. There's some good things happening. I reckon we're short of the centre. It's probably the only thing we're lacking, but I reckon we're a big chance of finalists next year.
Ooh, okay.
Big thing happening at that club, I reckon.
Are you daring to dream? Daring to dream top 8 finish?
I think, no, honestly, I was thinking and talking to quite a few people. I think with what they've got and looking at them now and how they've got some ticker in that forward pack, I think if they're not top 8 next year, there's something wrong. Because they are, I think they're on. They've done it tough for a few years now, but just that depth they've got, and with the excitement of probably having some playmakers, which I've really lacked, I think they're a sure thing.
Mate, thank you so much for joining us. Really do appreciate it. And guys, the best in the business, Lukey the Carman, he takes care of Isaiah Katoa. He's also had dealings with Jaya Pattaya, myself, Alex Glenn, Jarrell Yowie. Both of my cars are from Lukey. We'll be looking at that CX-5 as well. My wife drives a CX-5. We absolutely love it. So maybe it's time to upgrade, mate.
I think it is. Whenever you're ready, mate, you know where I am.
Mate, thanks so much for joining us, bro. We do appreciate it. Round 23 preview, Titans versus the Cowboys. Boys, I need to ask you. My stance is this. Cowboys, I think they'll still win games towards the back end of the season. But I think getting into finals footy, they may struggle with the scarring of such a huge loss. Happy to be wrong, though. I think the Cowboys have come leaps and bounds this season.
Yeah.
They've improved so much.
From the conversations we were having at the start of the season.
I think they've had a great year. So I'm not saying it's a bad year. I just think such a gigantic loss. There's got to be some sort of the scarring from it.
Rugby league karma, almost.
Oh, just some scarring. I don't know.
Heavy scarring. But they've got a good run home and they've got a bye.
I think they'll make the 8. I do think they'll make the 8, and I think they'll win games before because they've got a good run home. I just think you get to week 1 of the finals and you're playing like the Dolphins or whatever. Is there a nervous energy of fuck,
I can't see them beating the Titans this week. And
Okay.
I know they, the Titans come up against a Warrior side, a heavyweight, right? I've liked what Titans have been doing of late.
Yeah, I agree.
They are improving.
Zane Harrison is
out though.
Yeah, you got Lockie Ilias in there.
Oh, he does too.
I
yeah.
love Arama Howe. I love Philip Summy. I love Jaden Campbell, the way he's been playing. Like they're showing some really good signs. And the way that the Cowboys got beat last week, you can say they had an off day and they were flat, but the way that they got beat and the lack of desire and willing to put their body in front is very, very concerning.
Yeah, I've never seen anything like it.
I've never seen anything like it.
And that run arguably could be detrimental when you get to week 1 of the finals, like you're saying. Kind of creates a false reality. They come up against a tough game,
But also,
I just don't know if they're ready for it.
I just think let's say you're 20 minutes into a grand final and into a finals game. Dolphins go bang, bang, bang. Are you sitting behind the try line looking across going, oh, fuck? I hope I'm wrong. Look, regardless of how they go in finals footy, making finals this year with where they started this season is a win. It's a massive win. They've re-signed these young guys coming through. Tamalolo's back to playing really good footy. The season is a success for me in regards to the Cowboys.
I definitely think this week, though, just sitting on that just seething and just walking around town. If any of them had went down to Woolies and just, I just think that this week we'll see. I reckon this will be a really tough game. Titans, you have to bring like a lot. I got a feeling that the Cowboys will come out after. It's just a week getting hammered, man.
Yeah.
And you have no choice. Like they've put themselves in this corner where they've just got to perform this week, right? Otherwise,
but I feel like if Titans put up a fight in the first 20 minutes, they could capitulate. They'd be like, this is too hard.
I agree completely. I reckon that first 20, if the Titans can maintain it, they'll go away. I'm backing the Titans here.
Yeah.
But if they can, capitulate's a wonderful word. I should have put that in your letter. I should have done it.
You never capitulate.
Capitulation.
Tough game. Okay, Warriors v the Panthers. Huge game. I'm just missing Tanner Boyd, Jackson Ford. We'll see. Panthers are pretty red hot. I'm going to go Panthers, but I like where the Warriors are at.
Look, I'm going to go Warriors, and I've got a question for you.
Okay.
Does Blaze Talangi come back into the side?
Ooh.
At this stage, no.
Okay.
At this stage, no.
For the rest of the year?
So if Cogger keeps playing the way he did, like last week, it's there for Cogger to lose now.
But you know what the irony is? And look, this stats aren't everything. He still missed 8 tackles, Cogger. That's what's so
Did he?
bizarre.
Okay,
Yeah. But funnily enough, Blaze Talangi, before he got dropped, he didn't miss that many tackles. You don't get counted for missing tackles if you misread and you don't touch them.
In fairness to Cogs, though, like you miss the more you try.
Yeah,
sometimes
that's fair.
there's a lot of.
These teams with the best defense, they usually have a high rate of missed tackles because they get line speed.
Yeah.
So they make contact, they might get bounced off, and it's counted as a missed tackle.
Bulldogs, for example.
But exactly.
Yeah.
So Blaze is blatantly getting beaten on his inside shoulder. I don't think Papali'i has been communicating with him well. Then you got McLean outside him who's injured. You got Tungall that comes back in. But the way Cogger just sort of controlled and just how him and Cleary fed off each other, I just thought, fuck. It's going to be hard for Blaze to come back in.
I do get a vibe that it feels like Cleary feels more comfortable with Cogger there. I get a vibe.
That's what I.
It could be an age thing, but as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Because Cogs
That's a
is
fair
20. He's
assumption.
me and Cogs are the same age. I think 28. I do think that Ivan's done it in the past. They will carry that 14. That'll have a, that halves or hooker role, whatever he's got to fill in there. So I do think if Blaze doesn't come back into the starting side, I do think we'll see him there.
He's got to be in there
on the
somewhere.
extended bench in the finals.
I think he's extended bench this week, Blaze.
He is right. He's 19. Yeah.
So we might see him. But I think we all agree, he'll play NRL again. He's a bloody talented guy. He's young as anything. He's
at the pinnacle, just about the pinnacle side in the NRL.
It's going to be tough.
He'll be fine.
Roosters v the Dogs. Now, crazy stat with the Dogs. If you actually look at, so when 6 against and penalties started to get more normal compared to last year, they actually are essentially the best defensive team in the competition since that moment.
Yep.
Crazy.
It's crazy.
How specific Serraldo's system is that it throws, if it's tweaked just a few different. So the more I've watched the Bulldogs the last few weeks, the more I've realised that Serraldo has a system designed for big games. Because you know how refs in big games put the penalty away, less 6 against?
Yep.
And I feel like the reason why last week's game was kind of close-ish is because the ref was giving 1 million penalties away, 1 million 6 against away.
Yep.
And so I actually reckon the Dogs might be a bit of a smoky to make a bit of a push in the back into the season if it continues to be refed like this with ball in play, not as many penalties. Because if you look at the stats, they are defensively the best team in the comp for the last since round 17 or some shit like that, or round 13 or something like that.
Hey, this is obviously huge for both teams because I'm not purely convinced on the Roosters just yet.
Okay.
And Dogs are desperate, so this is a good barometer to see where both teams are. Right?
Yep.
I think the Dogs, with the rivalry going back 20 years, I just think that, and you're saying how the 6 agains and the whistle's been put away a little bit. If they can control the middle of the ruck, the Dogs, this is going to be a belter of a game.
Yeah, it will be.
I think look, Penrith Panthers are the benchmark, I will say that. However, it's almost the perfect test of the Serraldo system because the Roosters are such a big pack that if your line speed can control the Roosters pack, you could argue it can control any pack.
Yeah.
And so I wonder whether the Roosters might be a little bit of the Dog kryptonite because they're so big. But it's a perfect test. I don't know why Dogs are 317. I think they should be a bit closer than that. Look, I've got the Roosters in a close one though, but I do think the Dogs
What if Tedesco's out?
still Roosters in a very close one. See, I'm convinced of the Roosters now.
Yeah,
You are
same.
convinced?
I'm convinced because I just know, like, whether they go poorly in this game and the next game or whatever, to have that in the back of your head, to know that you can put that on,
Yeah. Yep.
that's a big thing.
I just want to see a couple more weeks of high completions.
Yep.
And I'll be convinced.
Yep.
Yeah, for me, Roosters are the real deal. Like I really like them going all the way to the grand final.
I can see it.
They play Penrith in a couple of weeks, don't they?
Yeah. Next week.
But
Next
I
week.
think I reckon they'll lose this week. I reckon they're going to go Dogs. I'm just looking at them now. They went tied against the Knights. Massive win last week. Obviously, too, that like when you win that easily in the second half, they're having fun pretty well. Sometimes that can affect your mentality going into games.
true.
Same way it's going to affect probably positively now for the Cowboys this game. But I just think they've gone 2 wins in a row. 4 games left in the year. They'll probably start their run next week, I think, and they're going to have that loss that you need before the final series this weekend against the Dogs.
Yeah.
I'm with you though, Rennie. If I was Trent Robertson, I would be saying the only target I have for this game, boys, is 85% completion rate.
Yeah.
I don't even honestly the win is sweet, but it's more because I think if you say to them, don't make errors, it removes the from their mind of like going out there in the first set, just spinning it and just going, we can score anytime we want. If you say the only fucking goal we have, guys, is 85% completion rate, I think that actually will nullify, to a degree, nullify that we can score in every single
Well, let's
fucking
see
play.
how good we are against the best defensive team currently.
Yeah, absolutely. Who you got? Roosters, Dogs.
I got Roosters, but in a cracker game.
Yeah, I've got Dogs in
Doggies.
the cracker.
Yeah, I'm going Doggies.
Storm, Manly. Storm obviously done, but geez, they've been brave. Manly,
Off the bye, Manly, right?
off the bye. Oh, what a straight! Like, do you reckon? Because like I did feel like they looked flat and tired. The Manly side, like I felt like Foran squeezed the best he could out of the roster that he had. I wonder if the buys come at the perfect time where it's just like, okay, rest them, and now lift them back up to where they were when they were killing teams.
Yeah, I agree. Look, I feel like Melbourne put up a great fight against the Dogs. They started well, and like the fundamentals of and the standards of a Melbourne side, like for me, Brisbane have got 1 foot in Bali.
Yeah, yes.
Melbourne, they will finish the year as strong as possible.
Yeah.
Right.
That's the difference between the two.
Bellyache will not let anything slide with this side, no matter what team they put out on the park.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what they're
Munster's
playing for.
Yeah, it's like they're gonna finish the year strong. Manly, I just feel like Manly being desperate and trying to get into that 8. I think they deserve to be favourites. I don't want to go Manly in this one. It's over in Perth, yeah.
Oh yeah, it is. Yeah, I agree. I think something that has gone unnoticed as well is with Brooksy getting his injury done, and they haven't won since Brooksy did his injury. So at the same time, Brandon Wakem was playing really good footy for him, and he has just come back this week from the same time frame. So I think he'll add a bit to them because he was playing some really good footy when Foz took over.
In defence and attack.
Yeah.
Like he was whacking blokes.
Whacking
He was
blokes.
shooting out the line.
His service was outstanding.
And his service was great as
little
well.
things like that. Like I reckon they've actually missed him a lot more than
Absolutely.
they've realised. I
Yeah.
think this period has shown them actually he was doing better than we realised.
I agree.
I'm going to back them in this Manly off the bye. They get a bit of rest.
Yeah, I agree. I got Manly in this one.
Dolphins, Broncos.
It's just like I just don't know because this whole like rivalry and this is our house and like
The Dolphins
Brisbane-
have a perfect opportunity to give it to the Broncos.
Proper.
I'm worried.
Suncorp?
Yeah, this is our think about all the footage you can show this Dolphin side right now of the Broncos doing these. This is our house. The Broncos are wounded. They're in Bali already.
Are they? But like they can get up for this one. And
One
then
game?
who do they play next week?
Oh, I'm not sure.
Let me have a look.
I think
Who
they
do
got
they
a
play
pretty
next
tough
week?
run home. I think they got a pretty
I
tough
still
run home.
find it hard to back against the Broncos.
Broncos got Wires next week.
Yeah, so they're at
That's
Bali
Suncorp,
next
yeah.
week. But this week they're like we're playing like this is our home. We're getting up for this one. Then we'll go to Bali next week.
I wouldn't be surprised if that does happen.
Yeah.
And we see a different Broncos this
So
week
I see that-
specifically.
I'm gonna go Broncos for some reason. I
Yeah,
just feel like
I
they're
am
gonna
too.
get up for this local derby.
Okay.
I'm going Dolphins.
Okay, going Dolphins. That's a spite bet.
We've all been there.
Rabbitohs, Eels.
Tallis
It's
Duncan,
now or never, South Sydney Rabbitohs.
Yeah.
It's
Ken
now or
Murray,
never.
Tallis Duncan, and Fafita back.
Yes.
Yeah,
Rabbits to lose.
Rabbits.
Rabbits.
Honestly, that Eels-Tigers game, respectfully, was one of the worst games of rugby league I've ever watched in my life.
But you couldn't turn it off.
Mate,
Just because you said respectfully doesn't mean it's respectful.
Yeah.
it was respectfully
helps,
from
though.
my heart. I said with all due respect. That was diabolical stuff. Like, can you remember last time you saw a game like that? We've all been in them. Like, let's not, like, we've all been in them. So
I've never been in a game like that.
Not that bad, actually.
I hate it when I got a guy.
But pretty bad. I've been
a
about
few guys I grew up with that play union, and I grew up with them, and like I've got a separate group chat with them, and like it only ever pops off is when there's like such a bad league game that they message in and go, how bad's rugby league? It's the only time all year, like whenever there is one, where they've actually got like
wait,
one
you
over us.
Do you write back? Is Union even a thing still?
Honestly, I wouldn't even know their schedule. I
do
wouldn't
you
even
guys
know
watch
when
now?
they play. Do they play Tuesdays, Wednesdays? What, like,
Tuesday. They've moved their games to Tuesday, Wednesdays. Oh, fucking hell.
Tuesdays, Wednesdays.
It's now or never for Rabbitohs. Now or never. Raiders Knights. $1.92 even.
Wow.
Well, that's come in. I swear the Raiders were favourites for a period there.
Look, I love what Newcastle have still done. You lose at both Dylans, right? Sandon Smith's doing a job, right?
good job.
That
man.
Manu Leilua,
Oh, bro.
he's just like replace Dylan Lucas. It's just like almost like for like, kind of, right? He's just like kid. He's just running unbelievable lines, great line speed. He's got ball skill.
Yeah, I know. That pass was
right?
crazy.
Defensively strong. He might blow out a little bit, but I like Newcastle, and I think they'll do a job, but like I just feel like they're on a run. Like they're going after it.
Well, if you actually look at their forward pack, if you take out Tyson Frizzell and Saifidi, and you've got Francis Manu Leilua, you've got McEwen on the other edge, who's also a beast, Dylan Lucas, you've got Trey Mooney, you've got Hopgood, got another guy in New South Wales Cup that I think is part of the Australian schoolboys or was. The average age is like 23 and a half, 24.
You've got Crossland kicking 40-20s.
Yeah.
Like Justin Holbrook's a genius.
Yeah, he's, for me, lock him in, Dally and Coach of the Year. I don't care what happens for the rest of the year.
They're signing him up quick too because they know that salary cap's starting to get squeezed. Yeah. I'm going. I'm going to go Knights, but this will be a tough game. Like Canberra had a tough game last week against Penrith. Like they'll be right up for this because they've got to start. Every game now they've got to just wrap it up and win.
And Canberra still in winter.
Oh, it's a cold trip. What time is it? 2:00. So not too bad. It'll still be freezing. Down
Yeah,
there.
it's better though.
I just think if Newcastle walk away from this game, this is like a huge mental challenge for them because they know they're good enough to beat them. And if they really want to go on a run into these semi-finals, like this is a game you just want to like, all right, let's get
Canberra
down
take
there,
the
let's
win.
win ugly and just get the hell out of there.
Well, if you can get 2 home games up in Newey, who knows what you can do?
Yeah.
Full strength side, like depending on when Dylan Lucas comes back, if it is this year.
No, I don't think it will be. I think they said end, wouldn't it?
Oh, was it? Okay.
Pretty sure.
Well, what would be 12 weeks from the day?
It was only 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. Okay, yeah. So he's not coming back. Obviously, Dylan Brown's not coming back. But yeah, you get 2 right now. I mean, it does look like it's locked in the top 4, but they're only 1 win outside the top 4. Them and the Dolphins. So if Sharkies, even though Sharkies' run home is hectic, like quite a good run home, but Sharkies and Warriors are on 13 wins. Dolphins, Newey are on 12 wins. So they're locked into top 8. But if they can go on a run, they could make a top 4. Sharkies genuinely, it's 2 wins. I was going to say, like they've got this crazy run home. They could finish second.
Yeah.
Crazy, yeah. Got a crazy run home.
Gee, don't jinx the Knights there in the top 8. The 28. There's still 4 rounds to go. You never know.
Oh, could you imagine?
Oh, actually, no, they've got the bye
this
last
week.
round.
okay, so who's their run home? The Knights.
No, now they got 3 games, but then they've got last round bye.
Okay.
So that should put it. Yeah,
That is
that
perfect.
They'd have to
Oh,
lose
isn't it?
every game,
No,
and
that's
the other
perfect.
team would have to win.
Yeah.
So good.
You know, they get the next 3 wins and then you get a bye before the semi-finals. That's unreal.
Yeah.
Freshen up.
Okay, St. George, Illawarra Dragons versus Sharks. Look, I don't mind Dragons at the line. 14.5 start. I don't mind that.
Yeah.
I don't mind it.
Yeah, Dragons they're starting to put some gritty like games together.
Yeah, like they were relatively close.
Sharks due? Is this the
yeah,
loss
well,
they need?
that's where I'm
Is
going
this the
to.
loss they need?
I
Same-
thought they were due last week, and they fucking pumped the.
This might be like my similar to Roosters theory. Like this is where they have that loss and go 3 games leading into the
Nah,
finals.
Sharks are due. It'll be next week or the week after. It won't be this week, I don't reckon.
Who they got?
Local derby. Dragons are up for it.
And also they could
Is
underestimate
this in
themselves.
Wollongong or Oki?
This is in Jubilee, Cogra.
Yeah, the old Okie.
Well, then because then they go, the Sharkies. Last round they've got Melbourne at home, but then before that they've got Para. I don't like those. I really hate playing those real bottom teams because they've been looking forward to Mad Monday. They got Para and then the Storm before the final series. Like those two teams, the hope for beautiful Mad Monday can actually get a real rise out of you.
No, absolutely, you're spot on.
I can see Sharks losing to Melbourne in that game.
I've dead set have conversations behind the try line or before a game and said, boys, we win.
Yeah.
We're going on a massive piss up.
Mate.
And it G's everyone up. And I was like,
Rosie be going, boys, like if we go to Mad Monday off a win,
Yeah, it's much
almost
better.
as good as winning the comp.
That's
the
great
next best
chat.
thing.
It's an actual
That's great
thing.
chat.
It's legit.
Oh, I understand it now. Okay. Alrighty. Make sure to give everyone a follow, all their podcasts, all that good stuff. We will go and fuck ourselves. Thank you.
What's gambling really costing you? For free and confidential support, visit gamblinghelponline.org.au.